It's Thursday, 12 p.m. Pacific, and we are back in the studio with some high school basketball coverage. And it looks like I am here with my man, Zach Poff, for the second straight week. And Zach, are you ready to get right into it right here on the Court Report?
Hey, Stoney, I was born ready, baby. And we got a big weekend in high school hoops, a ton of legit matchups to pay close attention to. And with that, let's bring in our national basketball editor, the one and only Jason Hickman. And Jay, you're on your way to the Bass Pro Classic right now. You're chilling in the airport. Thanks for coming on the show here today, Jay.
Absolutely. You may hear some dull roars in the background, but that's okay. On the way to see some great basketball. Welcome to the most pivotal weekend of the high school basketball season, guys.
And Jason, let's go ahead and bring up this week's excellent 25 rankings. And we got a new number one this week in Finlay Prep. And just kind of talk about this week's rankings.
Yeah, the Pilots are no stranger to the number one ranking. They held it 2 years ago when Nigel Williams-Goss was at the helm of that team playing point guard. And they were our national champion back in 2009. 16-0, headed to a big weekend, playing at two different events. And they took over that top spot as a result of Hamilton from Memphis, Tennessee, knocking off Oak Hill Academy, then number one Oak Hill Academy, I should say, over the weekend at the Penny Hardaway's Hoop Fest. And not only did they knock off the Warriors, but were up by 20 at one point and ended up winning by double digits.
Now, Montverde Academy keeps creeping up since they lost at the City of Palms to Wheeler. You wrote about the 5 things that everyone should be focused on during maybe high school's biggest weekend. Now, you're going out to the Bass Pro Classic Tournament of Champions right now. You're in the airport. If we hear, A, 1 through 30 is lining up, we'll know exactly why. Please give us a little more insight on maybe the high school's biggest weekend and some of the showcases that are going on.
Yeah, I know we're going to go in depth a little bit more on two of the big dogs, which is the Spalding Hoop Hall Classic and, of course, Bass Pro, as you mentioned. So let me dive into a couple pretty other intriguing events and matchups around the country. First of all, you can't forget about Flying to the Hoop. Just outside of Dayton, Ohio, they play at a great venue there, the Trent Arena. Luke Kennard, everybody's going to come out and see if he can put on a big scoring display. You've got the big man, Caleb Swanigan, taking on DeAndre Ayton and Balboa Prep. Just some absolutely phenomenal matchups there. Aforementioned number one, Finley Prep will be in action at Flying to the Hoop. And then going down south, down to the Wally Keller Classic in Florida, where Mofford is going to take on a tricky matchup against Pebblebrook from Mapleton, Georgia. You might remember them as the near winner of the MaxPreps Holiday Classic there in late December. With a great showing against Mofford, they could play their way into the rankings. So it's not just the two Springfields, Springfield, Missouri, and Springfield, Massachusetts, where there's great basketball going on. It's happening all over the country. Right here, where I'm heading out from right now, Seattle, big-time, prime-time matchup between number 21 Garfield and Rainier Beach, who was in the rankings early on this season but got knocked out. That's a huge Metro League rivalry now with Garfield moving from 4A to 3A.
And Jason, since we have you on the phone right now, I know you got a plane to catch here pretty quick. So let's go ahead and jump into this week's 3 in the Key. And Jay, let's dive right in. Give us a team to keep an eye on this weekend over the Martin Luther King holiday weekend.
So many to pick from, but keep your eye on Bishop O'Dowd, ranked number 10 nationally. I'm going to see them Friday and Saturday at the Bass Pro Shops Tournament of Champions, where they could meet Oak Hill Academy for the second time, could meet number 8 Wesleyan Christian Academy with Harry Giles. Both huge opportunities for the Dragons. Then they're going to go straight from Springfield, Missouri to Springfield, Massachusetts, where they're going to take on number 3 Wheeler, featuring Jalen Brown, the City of Palms Classic winner from Marietta, Georgia. It's not out of the question if things played out the right way for a team like Bishop O'Dowd, that at the end of this weekend, following Monday night at the Spalding Hoop Hall Classic, they could very well have a strong case to be the #1 team in the country. There's several teams in that category, but Bishop O'Dowd is perhaps the one team with the most unique opportunity heading into this extended MLK weekend.
Now, Jason, it's called 3 in the Key, and we call it that because we ask you 3 questions. So question number 2, give us a winner from the Bass Pro Shops Tournament of Champions, which just so happens to be airing on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go chalk on you guys here and go with Oak Hill Academy, ranked #6 this week. This is their first ever trip to the Bass Pro Shops Tournament of Champions. You can bet that the folks in Springfield, Missouri are going to come out in big numbers. Last year's championship game, again, televised on CBS Sports Network. Over 10,000 fans packed in to the John Q. Hammonds Arena on the campus of Missouri State University. They expect another big crowd. This year, the final is going to be phenomenal. You could see Oak Hill Academy taking on either #8 Wesleyan Christian Academy or #10 Bishop O'Dowd. But other highlights in that field include the Ball brothers and Chino Hills from California, as well as Malik Monk, and Bentonville from out of Arkansas.
And Jay, I got to put you on the spot right here. I know there's a ton of big-time matchups at the Spalding Hoop Hall Classic, but what's the one game that you have circled that's a can't-miss game?
Yeah, absolutely. I already kind of glossed over #3 Wheeler taking on #10 Bishop O'Dowd. That's a very good one, and you can make a strong case for that. But I want to go with #1 Finley Prep with their great backcourt of Derek Thornton Jr. and Alonzo Trier taking on Stevenson from Lincolnshire, Illinois, ranked #14 with a great backcourt of their own in Jalen Brunson and Connor Kashad. If you're Finley Prep, do not let this game be close late, because Jalen Brunson can absolutely take over late in games with his scoring.
Well, always a wealth of knowledge, Jason. Please fly safe and have a good time out there in Missouri.
Will do. Thank you, guys.
So, you know who else is always a wealth of knowledge? Megan Pichet, and she joins us again from the locker room with the Locker Room Report.
Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the point guard position, and it's really no secret that a versatile point guard can help champion a great team. And today we're going to take a look at some of the top point guards in the country. And we begin with Taya Cooper of McEachern High School in Georgia. Cooper's stats speak for themselves with a 29.2 scoring average. It's obvious she can slash, but she's also averaging 7.3 assists, 4.2 rebounds, and 3.5 steals per game, making her an extremely versatile point guard. Before teammate Kayla Robinson went out with a torn ACL, Cooper was running offense for the #1 team in the country. Asia Durr of St. Pius ex-Catholic in Atlanta is another top pick. Durr boasts 31.1 points, 2.1 assists, 5.9 rebounds, and 1.5 steals per game. The lefty, who is headed to Louisville, is stronger than your average guard and comfortable in the paint. Durr won gold at the U17 World Championships with Team USA. Kyra Lambert's stats are also well-rounded at 26.2 points, 2.8 assists, 6.4 rebounds, and 4.3 steals per game. We're starting to see a pattern here with these guards. The 5'9" senior from Clemens High School in Texas is quick, willing to attack, and hard to contain. Lambert will join Duke next year. And a list of top point guards would not be complete without Blackman's Crystal Dangerfield of Tennessee. She is jet quick and can penetrate and collapse defenses, then distribute the ball like no other. The junior averages 15.6 points, 7.3 assists, 6.3 rebounds, and 3 steals per game. She has verbally committed to UConn. As of this week, Blackman, who is 14-2, ranks 3rd in our National Excellent 25 rankings presented by the Army National Guard. So let's take a look now at the entire list. Notably, 3 ranked teams were knocked out due to defeat last week. Previous #6 Archbishop Malloy of New York number 9 North Side of Arkansas, and last week's number 18 Leavenworth of Kansas all went down, and surprisingly not in big tournaments, but rather local and league games. Christ the King with a major 43-point upset over Malloy, who was missing star player Aaron McClure, to knock them completely off the list. And with a multitude of MLK weekend showdowns coming up, we can expect to see even more casualties next week. So until next week, that's all we have from here in the locker room. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Well, thank you, Megan. And Stoney, let's keep it on the same track, kind of. Yeah. We're going to talk about some of the top guards, but we're going to switch it to the boys' side and look at some of the top guards in the 2015 class. So let's start it off. We got to start with my guy, Malik Buckets Newman. This kid can absolutely ball. Maybe the best three-point shooter in the country. The 6'3", 180-pound shooting guard, the number 4 overall recruit in the 2015 class, number 1 shooting guard, and also the number 1 hooper in the state of Mississippi. Now this year he's averaging nearly 31 points, nearly 7 boards and 5 dimes. But the thing I love most about Malik Newman, averaging 4+ threes a game, but he's shooting 45% from deep. Malik Newman, and last weekend at the Mustang Madness event with 2 big-time coaches watching him, Phil Self, Kansas, John Calipari, Kentucky, he had 69 points in 2 nights, and Malik Newman put a lot of smiles on coaches watching him. Now, the thing I love most about Malik Newman, you remember Mo Williams earlier this week?
Yes.
Dropped in a 52er.
Yes.
NBA season high, Minnesota Timberwolves franchise record. Guess who the first person he tweeted after dropping in 52?
I'm guessing Malik, since you're asking the question.
Yes, sir. His nephew, Malik Newman, was the first guy Mo Williams hit up on Twitter, and this is why. And Mo Williams said, he's just out there getting buckets like Malik Newman tonight. And Malik Newman, really the real deal, one of the top uncommitted prospects in the 2015 class. Whoever get their hands on Malik Newman is getting one of the best diaper dandies and best scores in the country.
Yeah, and all 6 of these guys that we are talking about are ranked in the top 15 overall on 24/7 Sports. Now this guy, Isaiah Briscoe, is ranked the number 6 overall prospect in the country according to 24/7 Sports, and the number 1 point guard. The 6'3", 200-pound point guard from Roselle Catholic has signed to play for the Kentucky Wildcats. This season, the Lions are 9-0 and ranked number 4 in the Excellent 25 rankings, in large part to the play of Briscoe, who is averaging a team-high 21.1 points per game to go along with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. New Jersey once again is producing a very talented, hard-nosed guard whose resume is as impressive as any other guard in the country, including an EYBL championship and a streak-snapping victory over St. Anthony's.
Now let's shift gears to my guy, Alonzo Trier. This kid can absolutely hoop. The 6'4", 185-pound shooting guard for Finlay Prep, the number 1 team on the Excellent 25 rankings. He's committed to ball at Arizona next year, and he's led Finlay Prep to a 16-0 record so far this season, averaging 29 points and 6 boards, shooting nearly 60% from the floor, which is really crazy when you think about a shooting guard who takes a lot of jumpers, and he's knocking in 60% of those J's. Also 45% from 3, 82% from the charity stripe. This kid is really one of the top scorers in the country. 7 30-plus scoring games this year. Expect Trier and Finlay Prep to be one of the front runners for the high school national title this year. And I see a lot of James Harden, minus being a right-handed player, compared to a lefty. And Malik Newman also reminds me of Mr. Damian Lillard. I forgot to throw that in there.
Some good comparisons. Now, this future Cowboy is from the state of Texas by the way of Kimball High. Will be playing his college ball at Oklahoma State. That's why I said this Cowboy, of course, yeah. Jawan Evans stands 6 feet tall and weighs 165 pounds. 24 Sports has him ranked as the 2nd best point guard in the country and 13th overall prospect after transferring from Greenville, South Carolina. Evans tallied 22.4 points per game and 8.1 assists for the state champion Kimball Knights. That type of play got him named to the 4th team junior All-American team.
Now, Stoney, we got 2 guys left, so let's check in on the Baconator, baby. The one and only Dwayne Bacon from Oak Hill Academy, the 6'6", 190-pound shooting guard, committed to ball for Leonard Hamilton and Florida State. along with Malik Beasley. I mean, talk about some big-time recruits coming to Florida State next year. He's rated as the number 10 overall prospect on 24/7 Sports. Now, last weekend at the Penny Hardaway Classic, Oak Hill Academy lost to Memphis Hamilton, but Bacon scored a game-high 29, and in their first game since that loss, Bacon balled out for 36 and 9 boards in their 40-point win against John Wall's alma mater, the Word of God Christian Academy. And I see a little bit of Tyreek Evans in Dwayne Bacon's game. And, of course, Oak Hill Academy, I mean, number 6 now on the Excellent 25. And he's balling with a ton of D1 commits for that Oak Hill squad. Really have a good chance also to end as the number 1 team once this season comes to an end.
Now, we talk about Florida State's team being good next year with their big-time recruits. How about LSU, who will have a strong class next year coming in? Not only will they have the number 1 recruit in the land with Ben Simmons, but they will have hyper-athletic 6'4", 170 shooting guard Antonio Blakeney from Oak Ridge High in Florida. The 2015 grad is ranked 15th overall by 24/7 Sports. Through 17 games this year, he is averaging 33.4 points per game and 7.1 rebounds. On Tuesday night, just this past Tuesday, 2 days ago, he went for 50 points and 10 rebounds against East
50
River.
and 10, ooh-wee.
As a junior, he filled it up as well to the tune of 25, 5, and 4 a game. And that helped him earn All-American Honorable Mention honors. Antonio Blakeney, super athletic, as you can see right there. Now, all of those guards are going to make an impact at the next level. Maybe not next year, but at some point in their college career, or if not, at the NBA level. So keep an eye out on all 6 of those superbly athletic and gifted players.
And Stoney, we got one thing left to do.
What?
It's time for my favorite part of the show, so let's do it. This week's Top Plays. So let's go ahead and head out to New Mexico for a little bit of 8th grade basketball and check out this shot from Bernardino middle schooler who gets it, less than a second left, flips it up over his head, off the iron, and it rolls in for the game-winning 3 for the 8th grader from Bernardino High. You get one more look at it and gets it, doesn't know what to do, so he just flips it over his head. Coach, I know what I'm doing, baby. And the video credit goes to Jacob Puckett, who got this 3 behind the back for the W.
Now, Jaron Frey from Bristol Plymouth Tech in Massachusetts provided us with this shot. Now, what makes this shot great is not the fact that he just made it just beyond half court for the game winner with 1 second left. It's that the clock did not start, so they called it off and ended the game without giving the team a second chance. Ref said the clock mistake caused for the shot to not count and game to be called over. It was sent to us with the hashtag #MPTopPlay, and I wanted to give him some time to shine because he deserves it. If you're listening in the background, friend's mom is yelling.
Not even his
Dad
mom?
is asking if he got it. And you know what? It didn't count. All that celebration didn't count.
It counts in our eyes.
And they didn't even give him a second chance, even though it was just a clock mistake. It wasn't even him. It counts. If you look at slow it down, he shot that within 1 second.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Jared.
Book it. And let's go back to 8th grade. Check out this bounce pass off the head. It goes right to 41, who gets the easy lay. Now, my question is, does the outlet passer get an assist on this play? I mean, look at that. It goes perfectly off the top of his head. 41 with the athletic move. Kisses it off the glass for 2. We got a 2 for 1 here. We're going to go back.
Kevin Love right there. Love that one.
Well,
He
Kevin
loves
Love would
that
have
one.
bounced it off his dome right here. Kevin Love would have hit him right in the chest.
Right to the bucket.
Now, let's look. Maybe the best crossover this year. Akeem Chemo Davis, St. Clair County. Puts him on skates right there. Whoop. Have a seat. My favorite part, though, you got to knock down the J. Splash. I mean, look at Chemo. Woo. I mean, he put him on skates right there, and now he just hit a slippery spot on the floor. Have a seat. Chemo Davis getting buckets.
Get
Nothing
the towels,
but
kid.
nylon.
Get the towels. You got to clean up that key.
Look at that crossover. That's nice.
First one's nice, but
the second one, the crowd goes crazy. Look at the camera. It's perfectly shot right here. But watch this. Now the camera starts shaking. That's exactly what Chemo Davis did right here.
They knew it was nice. Now, Florida State University commit Malik Beasley is no stranger producing highlight quality dunks, as shown here. Hernan Fillins with this nasty transition dunk. The top 50 recruit is averaging 23 points and 8 boards a game this year, so he could do more than just dunk.
Wow.
But look at that.
Bounce.
He is sure good at it, though. Man, great dunk. Great job, Malik Beasley. A ton of Maliks on the show.
Malik Monk. No, he did it.
He did it.
Uptown Funk Jam right there. Malik Monk, maybe the best 2016 recruit. Just don't take the charge. Get out the way. Look at Malik Monk. He flies, glides, and the hammer. Man, this is nice. Malik Monk.
Great play. Thank you to Parker Ross
Yeah.
for filming that.
Woo.
And that is it for the show. We just had the top plays.
Hey, how do you rate that dunk compared to the dunk we saw last week?
Yasin?
Yeah.
That's purely athletic coming down on the break. Yasin was
He
a
didn't
little
have no- he
boost,
didn't have
but
liftoff.
I've never really seen anything like that last week and how high he got with it over his head. That's
Yeah.
a
I'll give
special
it to you.
dunk. So I would say last week's was number one. Anyway, though, thank you guys for all joining us right here on the Court Report. We always appreciate it. For Zach Poff and myself, Chris Stonebreaker, keep on clicking on to MaxPreps.com, America's source for high school sports.